What's up, guys? We're out here in Angleton, Texas, and this jungle is literally my backyard. Now, if I had $1 for every hour spent out here, I'd be a rich man. This is where most of my childhood took place. Alright guys, here's what's up. It's about 157 degrees outside, and it's really humid because, as you can see, if you just look around, it is a jungle out here. And that just traps in all the moisture and the humidity. I mean, it looks like it's Burma or Vietnam out here, but it's not. It's Angleton, Texas. Anyway, more to the point. What I've got here is some really good ground bait. I've got more than this, but this is just one of many bags I brought with me. But what I'm going to do, instead of just throwing the ground bait out there, I'm actually going to mix in some of these. These are pre-drilled halibut and krill hook baits. These are actually designed for fishing for carp, which I will use them for later. But what I'm going to do now is actually use a few of them to spice up the ground bait. So here's a bag of ground bait. It does not take many. That's all I need right there. Save the rest of those for later. Pinch this shut, and then I'm just going to mix it in. I'm going to spill it all over the place. The water's a lot higher today than it typically is. There's actually there's a drop-off, there's a channel in the middle, and that's usually what the water is kind of reserved in. And then there's a bit of a slope that goes down to it. So if I were to walk out there, what you'd see is you'd see me walking out, getting a little bit deeper, and then right as I got about to my waist, you'd see me just go under, because that's where the channel is in the middle. Interestingly, I'm not going to throw it in the channel in the middle. I'm going to throw it right at the edge of that, because that is where I find that the carp tend to hover, right? So here's the dip of the channel. The carp tend to hover right here, and the catfish tend to lie in ambush right at the edges of it. So catfish or carp, doesn't matter. That's the spot I'm going to cast to today. So let's get this ground bait out there. Here you go. You can see the pellets in there, the red and the black pellets. I'm going to put that into this cage feeder, which I'm loving the cage feeders. They work so well. Just kind of stuff some of this in there, make sure I get some of those pellets in. There we go. Current is very, very slow here. This is Oyster Creek, by the way. Oyster Creek is right behind my house. Alright. Alright, so we got our hook bait, we've got the cage feeder, and we've got slightly heavier rod and reel, just because there are some really big fish in here. There's a really big catfish, upwards to 40 pounds, big buffalo, big carp, and there's even big gar. And now, I'm not going to catch a gar on a piece of bread, more than likely. But if I do see a large gar and I want to have a shot at him, I can put a lure on and cast out with this. Alright, let's get the bait out. Alright, second rod, just the center pin, a little piece of bread. Just going to swing it out maybe 6-7 feet off the bank. There we go. That's all it takes. The current is so slow here, I can just use a single BB shot. Single BB shot, and it's set. I don't have to worry about pulling line in the current or anything. Handful of the krill pellets. Just going to toss these out right where, not right where the bait is, because it is going to float with the current just a little bit as it sinks. So maybe 2 or 3 feet up current, so by the time they hit the ground, they'll be right around my hook bait. These are pretty dense though, so they're going to sink fairly fast. There we go. That's all it takes. Strong, strong stuff. I just saw the line drop back and straighten up again, which indicates that a fish maybe doesn't have the bait, but is moving around over on top of the line, so it's investigating the bait. it's just a matter. There's a gar just came up over there. A gar just came up over there. I saw another gar over here. If you look, I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but right down there, there's a stream of bubbles, meaning that there is a carp over there. So I think the scent from the halibut pellets is working. I think it's bringing fish in. It's just a matter of being patient, quiet, and just really attentive to what's going on. And sooner or later we should get a bite. Well, we had something, but we lost it. Picked up the line, encountered resistance, dropped it. So what I'm doing is I've got our same bait here, but I put some of the halibut pellets into this bag, filled it with water, shook them up a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the bait a little bit of a soaking before I throw it back out. There we go. I'm just going to dip that in there, soak up some of that oil. There we go. That way, the moment that bait hits the water, it becomes the star and the centerpiece to the ground bait that we've put out there. Fish on. Looks like a decent one too. Oop. What are you? Can't tell what he is yet. Ooh. Oh, it's a catfish. Looks like a fairly, yeah, nice little catfish. Okay. Ooh. This guy's not too shabby. There we go. Let's see what. Gotta get him close because I forgot our landing net. I gotta get him close enough to grab. Alright, buddy, come on. And got him. I'm glad I hooked him when I did because I could see him pulling line, and that's when I hooked him. If I'd have waited, he probably would have swallowed the hook. But as it is, the hook's right in the corner of his mouth. And now it's out. Not too bad as far as channel catfish go. It's a pretty fish. Decent sized. And he came in, no doubt, because of the smell of those halibut pellets. That's most certainly why he came in. Pretty fish. He smells awful. He just smells so bad. This slow-moving water. Typical. But yeah, really lovely fish. This is one of the bigger channel catfish I've caught recently. So, pleased to have that. Let's get him back. And he's off. Well guys, we got the second fish on, and I actually cast out. You know, normally I cast out and then turn the camera on if something starts happening. The moment the bait hit the water, this fish came up and grabbed it. Somebody grabbed the fish. He's going berserk. Calm down, calm down. So you can see, this gar came up and he's just lip hooked, which is very rare for a gar to do, but at this size it's possible. It was a piece of bread soaked in the halibut oil that we had kind of made. And the moment I cast it out, I mean seconds later, just it hit the water, it sank, and it started going out because this guy had it. Really cool looking. You can still see some of the spots on his flank. Neat, neat animal. Really cool. Now I could be careful on hooking him because he's got. Hold still. He's got very, very sharp teeth. Oh, hold still, pal. That's the thing is I hooked him so fast. There we go. Hooked him so fast and got him in so quickly. He still has all of his fight left. He still has all of his fight left, which is good. It means he'll recover quick when we put him back in the water. There you go, pal. Ugh, goodness. That was unexpected. Something's... Yep. Something's big. Something's big. Oh, what is it? Whoa. Oh my goodness. Oh. Yeah. Woo. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. This guy packs a wallop. Big buffalo. That is a fish. That's a fish and a half right there. I put him close to 10. What a fish. Maybe even 12. I don't know. This is a big guy. He took that bread. I thought it was a gar at first. He really dug in, and buffalo fight well above their weight to begin with. Considering the size of this fish, that was a scrap. I mean, look how big his tail is. Compared, yeah, you can see how hard he's giving me a fight right now. Look how big his tail is compared to the size of his body. It's incredible. He reminds me almost like if you've ever seen a Siamese carp from Asia. That's kind of what these remind me of. Big, huge buffalo. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Let's put this fish back. I feel like I'm not doing his size justice. I mean, this is a big fish. Big fish. Let's let him swim free while he's still got all this fight in his system. There you go, buddy. Get out of here. There he goes. Oh, grab my towel real quick. This is the price you pay for a big fish. But I couldn't be happier right now. And I don't think I'm going to top that while I'm out here, to be honest. I mean, if I stayed all night, yeah, I'd probably pick up a catfish. Big catfish, maybe some gar overnight, but we don't have that much time. Anyway, it's been a year. One full year to the day that we left for Hurricane Harvey, or because of Hurricane Harvey. And the neighborhood's not doing so great. Nor is my house, for that matter, which is right over there. But it looks like the wildlife is doing fantastic, which always seems to be the case when you have some form of a disaster that affects both the human population and the ecosystem, because it did infect the ecosystem. Wildlife always seems to rebound fast. It's interesting, isn't it, how a human-caused problem tends to linger for so long. And animals just, they struggle so hard to ever recover, but when it's a natural disaster, we are the ones who just, for years and years, try to keep up, and the animals, they're like, we're back. Really cool, really cool. I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to go change shirts. So, see you guys next time.